thank you. Today marks the end of what has been a deadly month for the city of Memphis. The police department says the killings have been happening almost daily. And State Representative Antonio Parkinson is among those trying to put a stop to it. Representative, thank you for being back on the 3 p.m. Good to see you as always.
Thanks for having me.
You recently held a news conference with law enforcement and you sent a very clear message for those business owners, those businesses that you say are hubs for crime. A lot of tough talk, real talk.
Yes, and I think we have a possible game-changing piece of legislation in House Bill 1050 that would strengthen our business nuisance laws to make it so that these businesses that are becoming hubs for crime can be closed down faster.
Help paint the picture for us to get this clear understanding. Was there one crime in particular, maybe even recently, that a lot of people realized happened or saw and say, we got to do something about this?
Well, there was, but before I get to that, you know, there were constituent complaints about the same location.
Okay.
That where the shootout happened and there was a 10-year-old child.
We remember that well, yes.
But these complaints came before that even happened about the same business, right? And unfortunately at the time we weren't in session, so we couldn't move the legislation. And when we got to session in January, we started moving this legislation, and I worked with a familiar face with the Tennessee DA's conference and Mike Donovan, and you know, and we got this legislation done because before that, you know, the DAs or the city attorney or the county attorney would have to send someone in undercover, maybe do an underage buy or do something to capture that evidence. But under this legislation, 3 arrests in certain crimes, and these are violent crimes, these are crimes against children and others, 3 arrests in a certain time period will automatically deem that a nuisance business. Now, after that 3rd arrest, they will, the DA or the city attorney or the county attorney sends them written notice, hey, we're looking at you.
Yeah.
And then if there's one more from that, then it's an automatic nuisance. They're automatically brought to court. They're automatically boarded up. And then we see, you know, if the judge deems that there's a possibility of mitigation or remediation, then they can do that. But here's the kicker.
All right, what's the kicker?
Anyone that lives in that zip code or anyone that has a business in that zip code can sue that business and receive statutory damages of between $1,000 and $50,000.
So you really are trying to hold these businesses, those accountable for sure.
I'm dead serious, and I didn't want to curse because Bruce gets on me when I curse on the show.
I would appreciate that.
Right.
We want to keep this show on the air
serious.
as well.
You know, think about it, right? You know, there are the immediate victims of crime, but the rippling effects of these criminal activities cause property values to decline, cause businesses to go under, and it also kills us when it comes to recruiting new business.
I know you've also talked about this and thought about it. What about due process for those business owners?
Yes, yeah, that due process there. You know, after that third incident, then the DA sends them their letter to put them on notice, and then if there's another incident, they have to go to court. They have to go to court, to environmental court.
It kind of seems like collectively, though, a lot of folks are saying enough is enough.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, enough is enough. And you know, we're doing this for businesses right now, and we all know where those businesses are. We know which gas station we will not go to get gas. That might be one of those businesses, right? But next year we are coming back, and we are going to look at changing the word out business for residents.
Okay.
Because we know exactly which homes.
We will continue that conversation right here for sure. There is also, Representative, some other legislation that you are saying could be extremely impactful here in Memphis and across the state.
Yes. You know, House Bill 361 is a bill idea that actually came from one of our Shelby County judges. And what it does is it puts in the code that any judge hearing a domestic violence case, an assault case, can issue an order of protection right there in their court. So it removes a possibility of another step of having to go to another court to receive an order of protection. And the reason behind it was the judge said this, and it made so much sense. I have both parties before me. They're here right now. And if I cannot issue an order of protection right then, if it's needed, there's a possibility that a life may be lost.
So some things actually getting done in the Tennessee General Assembly. Very quickly here, your thoughts about what have we learned from the state takeover or state intervention that did not happen. What can we do locally here with some of our stakeholders, the school district itself, working with you folks in the state General Assembly, as well as county commissioners?
Yeah, what we learned is that it wasn't about educating our kids. What we learned is that it was about property, real property, and about that budget, getting control of that budget. There was not one thing in that legislation that set a benchmark for academic progress in that bill.
Representative Antonio Parkinson, as always.
My guy.
Look forward to having you back
Yes,
on the
sir.
3 o'clock
Yes,
anytime.
sir.
All right.
Happy to be.
A short break. We'll be back in just a minute.